Palmeiras derby. Paulista is a name that is known among the customary São Paulo soccer clubs, Sport Club Corinthians Paulista and Sociedade Esportiva Palmeiras. It is the contention between two football clubs still dynamic in the most established city of São Paulo. The Derby Paulista is among the 10 biggest works of art of the world. Corinthians and Palmeiras have just chosen state titles: Campeonato Paulista, Territorial Torneo Rio São Paulo, Public Campeonato Brasileiro, and wave to the furthest limit of mainland rivalry, Libertadores Cup of America. No other exemplary has chosen so many major championships, a huge contention in the Brazilian territory of São Paulo. Palmeiras and Corinthians have consistently drawn a great deal of consideration when they go head-to-head against one another. There have been books composed and motion pictures shot about this competition, including an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet where Palmeiras and Corinthians replace the Montagues and Capulets. Versus Penarol, one of football's exemplary derbies. Since the late 19th century, the Uruguayan Clásico is the encounter between the two biggest groups of Montevideo, Nacional and Penarol. The two groups have had a major influence in growing South American football, and are regarded in the Americas and around the world, notwithstanding their ongoing absence of worldwide achievement. Together they make up 8 Copa Libertadores and 6 Intercontinental Cups. The 0-0 draw of 14 April 1990 was not for coming up short on a decent battle: 22 red cards, 11 each side. National 9 field players and 2 seat players. The match finished at 85 feet for the standard of under 7 players. At that point the 1-1 match of 26 November 2000 finished in another showdown with a few boxing and karate kicks and hacks, in which 9 players needed to go through a month in prison, alongside one of the mentors. 2 versions of the match were played abroad, one in La Plata, Argentina, in 1960, the other in La Coruña, Spain, in 2005 because of the danger of nearby group interference and fighting. Fenerbahce vs Galatasaray. Fenerbahce SK vs Galatasaray SK is a Turkish football competition including 2 of the best clubs in the Super League. It is additionally a nearby derby, one of many including Istanbul clubs. The contention is over a century in presence, and has formed into an extreme and regularly harsh one, customarily pulling in enormous attendances. The two clubs contend with one another for the title of the best football club in Turkey, just as the best Turkish games club generally. Their football divisions have consistently been the most alluring among their fans. However, the competition likewise stretches out into other group activities, for example, b-ball, volleyball, games, paddling. Galatasaray SK is the more fruitful of the two, having won 68 authority titles contrasted with Fenerbahce SK's 66 titles. Fenerbahce SK is the best in their straight-on installations, while Galatasaray SK gloats of their accomplishment in winning the 2000 UEFA Cup final and the 2000 UEFA Super Cup, being the simply Turkish side to have won them up until now. Internazionale vs Milan, Derby della Madonnina, or the Milan Derby as it is here and there known. is a football coordinate between the Italian clubs Associazione Calcio Milan and Football Club Internazionale Milano. It is a fervently challenged nearby derby and is one of the most followed derbies in the football world, alongside the Rome and Turin derbies. It is generally viewed as one of the significant cross-town derbies in the Serie A, to such an extent that solitary chose refs may administer at whatever point these groups meet. It is a semi-annual apparatus in the Italian football group Serie A. Be that as it may, the derby has likewise occurred in the Coppa Italia and the UEFA Champions League. It is the main derby in Europe, played by two groups which have been heroes of Europe and the world. It is designated Derby della Madonnina, to pay tribute to one of the fundamental sites of the city of Milan, the sculpture of the Virgin Mary on the highest point of the Duomo, which is typically called Madonnina. Liverpool vs Manchester United. The set of experiences among Liverpool and Manchester United is one of the main wearing competitions in football, here and there alluded to as the Northwest Derby. The two clubs hail from the northwest of England. They are additionally the two best groups in England, and between them they have won 115 distinctions. With Manchester United's triumph in the Premier League season 2008-09, the two clubs are attached with 18 Alliance titles in England. Notwithstanding Liverpool's achievement in England, they have neglected to win the Premier League since its establishing in 1992, winning the League Cup in 2010. Manchester United set another English record of 33 homegrown distinctions, moving one away from the Merseysiders unexpectedly, just as contending on the football pitch. The two groups, additionally two of the greatest acquiring, and broadly upheld, football clubs on the planet. The contention has reached out to the players too. Internazionale vs Juventus. The name Derby d'Italia, Italian for Derby of Italy, was coined back in 1967, by the famous Italian sports journalist Gianni Brera, as the biannual football fixture in Italian football between Internazionale of Milan and Juventus of Turin. The name was also given to this fixture as Inter and Juventus were, as in 1967, the two teams with the highest number of international, the first, and national, the latter, honours. The match-up between Juventus and Inter is one of the most intense derby matches in Italy, between two teams not from the same city. The two teams are also ranked first and second in wins and goals in Serie A history. The match features two clubs who have never been relegated from the Serie A, prior to the Calciopoli scandal in which Juventus were forcefully relegated for their role in it. Boca Juniors vs River Plate. Superclásico is the name used to describe the football match in Argentina between Buenos Aires rivals Boca Juniors and River Plate. It derives from the Spanish usage of clásico, to mean derby, with the prefix super, used as the two clubs are the most popular and successful clubs in Argentine football. Due to their huge fan bases, Boca has 40% of the Argentine population and River 33%, and remarkable success, the enmity encompasses a major part of the country's populace. Known worldwide for the passion of the fans, the stands of both teams are loaded with passionate songs, often based on popular Argentine rock band tunes, against their rivals, fireworks, flags and rolls of paper, and sometimes end in riots between the most ardent supporters of both sides, or against the police. Tourists from around the globe come to Argentina to watch the match, sometimes even with packages that include a ticket to the Superclásico. The Superclásico is known worldwide as one of the fiercest and most important derbies In April 2004, the English newspaper The Observer put the Super Classico at the top of their list of 50 sporting things you must do before you die, saying that Derby Day in Buenos Aires makes the Old Firm game look like a primary school kickabout.
Celtic vs Rangers, one of the greatest and most serious derbies on the planet. The Old Firm derby between Scottish groups Celtic and Rangers is in excess of a football coordinate. It pits religion, legislative issues and restricting social perspectives against one another. The two clubs play in Glasgow, Scotland, and the match is probably the most established derby on the planet, going back to 1888. The Old Firm derby is additionally one of the most challenged matches on the planet, with more than 370 games having been played. The matches are played at either Ibrox Stadium with 51,000 fans, or Celtic Park before 60,000. Sometimes the match is played at Hampden Park. If the tie turns out to be a Scottish Cup or Scottish League Cup last or semi-last, the two groups have won numerous titles. However, as of now, Rangers are in front of Celtic with 53 Alliance titles to 42. The latest Old Firm finished Celtic 2-1 Rangers. This competition is considered by numerous individuals to be one of the most intense on the planet, with astonishing environments and noisy reciting. It is straightforward why it is. Millions check out the Old Firm derby over the globe. Officers are viewed as a Protestant club with Unionist and follower allies, while Celtic are viewed as a Catholic club with Republican and Nationalist allies. It has since quite a while ago had associations with the political clash in Northern Ireland, with a huge number of fans from Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland making the outing to Scotland for these matches. There is even viciousness in Northern Ireland following Old Firm games. In reality, the competition between the two clubs is incredible to such an extent that lone 5 players have ever moved between clubs. In 1980, around 9,000 fans took on a non-contribute conflict, the result of Celtic's 1-0 triumph in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden. This remaining part's the most exceedingly terrible intrusion onto a football pitch ever revealed. The Old Firm competition powers numerous attacks and numerous passings on Old Firm derby days. An extremist gathering that screens partisan action in Glasgow has detailed that on Old Firm ends of the week, admissions to clinic trauma centres increment 9 overlap over typical levels. And writer Franklin Fawn noticed that in the period from 1996 to 2003, 8 passings in Glasgow were legitimately connected to Old Firm matches, and hundreds
Lazio vs Roma. The Derby della Capitale, English, Derby of the Capital, is the neighborhood football derby in Rome, Italy, between the two significant groups of the city, Lazio and Roma. It is viewed as the fiercest derby in the nation, in front of the other significant neighborhood derbies, Derby della Madonnina, Milan Derby, and Derby della Mole, Turin Derby, and one of the best and fervently challenged capital derbies in Europe. The derby has been verifiably set apart by monstrous groups, energy, viciousness and, as of late, bigoted standards in the crowd. Some outrageous episodes specifically have left their blemish on the historical backdrop of this installation. In 1979, Lazio fan Vincenzo Paparelli was hit in the eye and executed by a flare terminated by a Roma fan from the far edge of the arena, turning into the main casualty in Italian football because of viciousness. In 2004, an uncommon occasion happened when the Roma Ultras constrained the game to be suspended subsequent to spreading bogus bits of gossip among the group that a youngster had been murdered by their police preceding the start of the game. In the ongoing derby, in December 2009, the ref halted play for approximately 7 minutes, only 13 minutes into the primary half, because of firecrackers being tossed onto the pitch. The derby on March 21, 2004, was relinquished 4 minutes into the subsequent half, with the score tied at 0-0, when the mob broke out in the stands and the leader of the Italian Football League, Adriano Galliani, requested ref Roberto Rossetti to suspend the match. After the match was delayed, a drawn-out fight among fans and police followed, with stands being determined to fire and individuals escaping the arena, in the end coming about in more than 13 captures and more than 170 harmed among the police alone. Real Madrid vs Barca. The contention between FC Barcelona and Real Madrid, in Spain, is commonly viewed as the greatest in football, and is comparative in setting to Celtic Rangers. From the beginning, the clubs were viewed as agents of two opponent areas in Spain, Catalonia and Castile separately, just as the two urban communities themselves. During the 1950s, the contention was strengthened further when the clubs contested the marking of Alfredo Di Stefano, who at long last played for Real Madrid and was key in the ensuing achievement accomplished by the club, as Barcelona and Real Madrid are the two greatest and best clubs in Spain. The competition impacts the class title on a practically yearly premise. The blaze purposes of this competition are the twice-a-season Clásicos, which draw huge crowds from around the globe. Genuine has won more La Liga and Champions League titles than Barca, yet Barca has won more Spanish Cups, Cup Winners' Cups and UEFA Cups. Likewise, Barca turned into the primary Spanish group to win the high-pitched 2008-2009. In 2009, they won 6 rivalries, turning into the principal group to win all rivalries they entered in a schedule year. The contention has likewise been reinforced all through time by Real Madrid and Barcelona top players who have absconded to their main adversary. Outstanding Barcelona players who have later played for Real Madrid incorporate Bernd Schuster (1988), Michael Laudrup (1994), and Luis Figo (2000). Luis Enrique changed from Real Madrid to Barcelona in 1996 and proceeded to chief the Blaugrana. Thanks for you. Please subscribe my channel.